Good morning and welcome to Fire and Rescue New South Wales Emergency Services Academy. Today we wrap up our week of open days with Fire and Rescue. We've just showcased so many things this week, such as our RPAS unit, our USAR capability, our road crash rescue, and how could we forget those dogs? But today we've got a special treat. We're going to show you the big red trucks, our fire engines. So our fire engines are going to be presented to you by a senior instructor, a senior firefighter, Michael Kerslake, who is an instructor with our appliance training unit. Over to you, Mick.
Hi, my name is Mick Kerslake and I'm an instructor with the appliance training unit, which is located at the Emergency Services Academy at Orchard Hills. I'm going to tell you a little bit about fire engines and also what the appliance training unit or fire engine training unit does. I'll tell you how we train our firefighters to drive a fire engine to a fire or an incident and how to get the water to put out that fire. When a recruit firefighter starts at the Emergency Services Academy, we upgrade their car licence to a truck licence so they can drive our fire engines. During their training, we take the recruit firefighters to Armidale. This is where we use the Armidale driver training facility, and we put the recruits through an extensive advanced driver training program. We teach them to control a fire engine in wet and dry conditions, at low and high speeds, and also in many different scenarios. This advanced driver training is essential so that you and the members of the public know that when you see a fire engine go past under lights and siren, you know that that driver has had the best training possible. To put out fires, firefighters need water, and firefighters also need a pump to pump that water to the fire. And our fire engines have both. This firefighter is turning on the switch that turns the pump on, which we need to pump water. And our fire trucks have a tank that carries 2,000 litres of water. Today we are training at the Museum of Fire and we are putting the recruits through many different pumping scenarios. He's now putting on his gloves to protect his hands. He's putting the wheel chock under the rear wheels for safety so the fire truck doesn't move. That's our pump at the back of the fire engine. He's grabbing our high pressure hose reel, which we use for first attack firefighting. The water for that hose is coming out of our onboard tank. He opens up the valve to let the water flow through the hose. He's now increasing the pressure so the water comes out the hose. In this scenario, the fire has got a little bit bigger. So now we have to go to a larger hose. This hose is a 38mm hose. He's going to bowl the hose out. He's going to give one end to the firefighter who is going to attach a branch or a nozzle, and the other end is attached to our truck, and that is where the water comes out. Our onboard water tank does not last very long, so we need to find water somewhere else, and we look for hydrants that are located under the ground. They could be under your footpath or under the road surface. The hydrant is in blue. What he's doing now, he's placing a standpipe into the hydrant. In other words, it's like a really big tap. He's making sure it's tight. He's going to put an adapter onto our standpipe, and we call that a breaching piece. That has a couple of valves on it, so it's turned one pipe into two. He's now turning on the tap to make sure that there's water there, and now he closes off that valve and he's going to turn the tap on all the way so we can get the most water out of the ground we can. Now we use one of our larger hoses, and this is a 70mm hose. He's He's going to bowl the hose out. He's going to hook one end up to our fire engine. That goes into what we call the collector, and that's where the water travels into our pump. He's going to go back to our standpipe and hydrant now and hook up the other end of the hose. And he's going to open the valve, and you'll see the water flow through the hose and go all the way to the back of our pump. So because our water in our tank is just about to run out, he's going to shut off our tank, and now he's going to open up the valve which lets the water come in from the hydrant. He's now checking the pressure and he's going to lower the pressure down so there's not too much pressure in the hoses, so they're safe for the firefighters to hold. He's now turning off the water to our high pressure hose reel, and the scenario now again, we have told him that the fire is getting a little bit bigger and they need another larger hose put on the fire. So he bowls out another 70mm hose, hooks one end up to the fire truck, and the firefighters hook up another branch or nozzle to the other end of the hose. This is our 38mm hose, which is where one firefighter can hold it. And this is our 70mm hose, and we need 2 firefighters to hold this hose. This is our branch or nozzle at the end. And those branches have many different settings. Now you can see he has another hose hooked onto his hydrant, which is flowing into the back of the truck. We've now told him that the fire's out, and he's refilled his tank with the water that's come from the hydrant, and so our tank's full now, ready to go to another fire. He's disconnecting the hoses that we were just using. And this piece of equipment we use to make foam. So we use foam to put out flammable liquid fires. He's just adjusting it there. It's only water in the bucket, but normally for fighting fires we would use foam, but for training we just use water. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below.
Wow, thanks Mick for that really great introduction to our fire engines. It just shows that fire and rescue firefighters are prepared for anything at any time. But this wraps up our week at the Emergency Services Academy. Fire and Rescue New South Wales wants to thank everyone for watching. We started off the week with our road crash rescue demonstration. Then we had our USAR team. How could we forget that? Our RPAS, our remote piloted aircraft systems, and then who could forget the dogs? What a day that was. And of course, how could we forget today with Mick Kerslake with our fire engines. I want to thank all of our fire and rescue staff for our help, and especially our production staff with what they've done this week. Thank you very much. Don't forget, go to our website, fire.newsouthwales.gov.au, and also brigadekids.com.au for more information. I'm Scott Dodson, and thank you for tuning in this week to the Emergency Services Academy from Fire and Rescue New South Wales.